and I want to talk to you today about college education. A friend of mine, Coach Hill, recently talked to a lady at a coffee shop about applying for graduate school. And if I hadn't heard him tell this story, I wouldn't have actually believed it because I don't keep up much with what it takes to get in college anymore. But the story's funny, and I'm going to share it with you. And on the other side, I'll have some thoughts and comments
Hello,
about it.
everyone. This is the Timeout with Coach Craig Hill, and I just want to take a minute out to tell you about an experience that I just had while I was out meeting with some people. And met a young lady was sitting next to me, and she was telling me that she was filling out an application. And I said, "An application for what?" And she said, "Well, I'm looking to get into grad school." And I said, "Oh, okay, that's good." I said, "Well, you evidently have already got your BS degree." She said, "Well, yeah, I got my BS degree, but that won't get me into grad school. In order to get into grad school, I have to have experience." I was like, "Well, what good was the BS degree?" She said, "Well, it looked good, but it really didn't do anything for me." So she had to go actually work for someone else, and then she could apply. And I said, "Well, how much is it to actually apply?" She said, "Well, this first form that I have to apply for is going to run me $75, but I'm going to put in about 6 of them this time, so it can be anywhere from $75 to $150 each." And I said, "Oh, and then they review it, and then you get accepted, right?" And she said, "No, after that, then they'll send me out their own application, and that can be anywhere from $200 up to $1,000. I said, "Well, at least then they accept you, right?" And she said, "Well, no, that doesn't necessarily mean I get accepted. It means I had another opportunity to apply." I said, "Well, what happens if they don't accept you? Do you get your money back?" And she said, "Well, no, I don't get my money back. I just kind of like lose my money." I said, "Well, at least, well, when you graduate and everything like that, you got something to look forward to." She said, "Yeah, each one of the schools that I'm applying to is somewhere between $60, I'm sorry, $60,000 a year to actually, be in school." I said, "Well, that takes care of your room, your board, and your books and all." She said, "No, that's before my room, my board, and my books and all." I said, "Wow, okay." So I said, "Well, what about the ones that you really want to get into?" She said, "Well, those will run me about $100,000 a year, and they're 3-year programs." I said, $300,000 to actually get more education, and your BS degree is not any good for you. She said, "No, that degree doesn't do all this for you." I said, "Well, when you get out, at least you're going to be making a lot of money." And she said, "Well, yeah, I'll be making real good money." I said, "Well, how much do you expect to make like your first 5 years of while you're out?" And she says, "Well, I believe I'll be making anywhere from $60 to $80,000 a year." And people try and tell me that network marketing's hard and that it's a scam. I'll see you guys on the next clip.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that? I just figured it up. If she applies to 6 schools and pays $75 for an application, that's $450 for her to apply to get an application from the schools to turn around and pay another fee for them to review her application. And then to go to school for 3 years. And it costs somewhere between $60,000 and $100,000 to go. Let's go to the high end, $100,000. She's going to go to school for 3 years. That's $300,000, not counting room, board, and books. Oh my Lord. And the thing about it is, 67% of college graduates right now, even ones with master's degrees, can't find jobs in their field of study. So why are you spending all that money to get an education for a job that you may or may not get in your field of study? I'm like Coach Hill, and they talk about network marketing being a scam and it being hard. Listen, I would rather invest $300,000 in building a business of my own than paying some college just to apply and get a degree in something that I may or may not be able to get into. So listen, go to the link that I've got listed down here. Take a look at what I'm doing. I tell you what, it's the easiest thing that I've ever done in my life as far as the opportunity. So before you start plopping down a lot of cash to go to school, get a good education, and then may or may not be able to get that to get into your field of study, you might want to think that through again. I'm Bob Daves. Have an awesome day. God bless.